there are just so many food centers in Singapore, and one of the ways, as we head up here, that people in Singapore decide whether the food is good is by looking at the queue. If there is a long queue, then the food must be good, right? Because, you know, why would people spend time in the queue if the food isn't good, right? I don't know. So how do we find out? Well, you have a place, you have a video, you have a reference, you have a series where you can find all this out, and not only at one food center but many food centers around Singapore. So what happens is, well, you will be able to find out when you go to a food center whether this queue is worth the queue, or this one. What about this one? That one? What about this one? Whether it's worth the queue. Yes, so we are having another Worth the Queue episode. So join me after the intro. Worth the queue, worth the queue. Is it worth the queue? Worth the queue, worth the queue. Is it worth the queue? I think so. I don't know. Maybe. Yes, no. I don't know. Worth the queue. Welcome back to another Worth the Queue episode. And what we are doing today is we are going to explore more queues at this food center. And this food center is Maxwell Food Center. And last week we explored some queues, and there's still more queues to explore. So we're going to do more exploring. So we are walking along all the stalls at Maxwell Food Center. In our food adventure here, you can try lots of different types of food. And this stall here sells rojak and popiah, something to accompany your meal if you want to eat some other things. So try something different things. And our next queue is at this stall called 75 Peanut Soup. Yes, this is actually a dessert stall. Yes, peanut soup, but it's a dessert stall. So here, what you have here is this stall actually sells 3 types of dessert. They sell red bean soup. They also sell tau suan, which is actually a mung bean dessert together with a starchy, clear soup, and then this, which is the peanut soup. So what you have here is you have a very nice dessert soup where the peanuts have been boiled for a very long time until it's soft, and then the soup also tastes a bit like soya bean milk, nice sweet peanutty, and a very delicious soup. And somehow this soup goes very well together with these glutinous rice balls. These glutinous rice balls have stuffing inside of them, something like maybe peanuts or black sesame, and the combination of these 2 items goes very well together. Just the right amount of sweetness to the soup, and the queue here clears very fast because all he has to do is just to scoop his items into the bowl. And so if you're here, this place here is definitely a place that is worth the queue. And from desserts, you're heading diagonally opposite to another store, and this store here, there's actually a queue starting to form even before the store has opened. And we're at this store called Fushun Shao Ramian Oksun, and this place here has a long queue, and what they specialize in is in making roast meat with either rice or noodles. And here is the queue, as you can see. So let's start talking first about the queue. The queue here, like I said, the store maybe opens at maybe around 12 noon. And this store opens later than other stores at this food center. But before the store open, people are already queuing up. And they queue up because of these roast meats. And so if you do want to come here, come slightly before it opens and start queuing up. If not, if you come during the lunch timing, you may have to wait at least half an hour before you get your food. So what people come here for, like I said, is their roast meats. And you have different type of roast meats. You can have their barbecue pork or char siu, their roast pork, which is their siu yolk, or their roast duck, which all these 3 items, they do it very well. And what people come here to eat is their roast meats. So first of all, the char siu or the barbecue pork. You can actually smell it before you reach the front of the store. It has a very nice sweet and meaty smell, very nice. And when you bite into it, the outer layer is nicely caramelized with lots of char and lots of flavor, sweet, delicious. And the meat, the cut of meat they use is also good because it has both fat and meat in it. So as you know, fat has lots of flavor, and this char siu here does give you that lots of delicious flavor. Then you have the siu yok or the roast pork. The roast pork here also done very well. The proportion of meat to fat is also very good, it's like almost half-half. Then the skin is salty and crunchy and lots of delicious meat flavor in it, and it's also a very good, very delicious roast pork. And then another interesting thing is the sauce, the barbecue sauce that they pour on both the rice and the noodles. The sauce is savory, sweet, and it flavors both the noodles and the rice. So when you order this dish, you make sure you get enough of this barbecue sauce. Totally delicious and totally worth the queue, even though you have to wait 30 minutes. And from roast meats, we walk further down the road to this shop called Somerset, which sells fried rice and fried noodles. If you're interested in that, you can come here and try that. If not, we're hitting a few stores down to another store called Popo's and Nana's Delights. And this place here sells something that you don't normally find in a food center, which is Nonya or Eurasian food. So this store is called Popo's and Nana's Delight, and what they sell here is Nonya and Eurasian cuisine, which is a cuisine that you don't normally find at hawker centers or food centers. But this store here does sell that, and if you're interested in trying these types of food, then it's a very good place to come. So normally what happens is they have a set meal. It costs around $6 per set, which you have a main dish. This main dish, there are certain dishes that you can get every day and certain dishes which are specials of the day. So depending on the day you come, you can order different types of main dish. Here on this day I got their beef rendang, which they have nice chunks of really tender beef, and then you have also different types of items you can eat together with rice. Like here you have their chap chai, which is like mixed vegetables, stewed vegetables and tofu together with rice, and also this beef here. The beef here, like I said, extremely tender. The mix of spices here is also very flavorful, and it has a very nice rendang flavor, but slightly lighter than what you expect. And then you have their sambal, which is also very spicy and very flavorful and goes very well with the chap chai. And I came back another day to try their pork ribs buah kulak, and here it is. So what you get is you get this. First of all, let's talk about the achar here. The achar has a nice crunch to it, slightly on the sour side. Then you come with this little bowl of soup, but what you come here for is their pork ribs buah kulak. First of all, they give you lots of pork rib pieces. The pork ribs is also nice and tender, and then it also has the very earthy buah kulak taste, slightly sour, oily, and only slightly spicy. Overall, something very interesting. And if you like to try interesting food, then this place here is something that you should give it a try. And the queue here, like I said, is not too long, and so the price is also affordable. The portion size is definitely generous. So come here if you're hungry, if you want to try different flavors, Nonya flavors, Eurasian food, this is the place to come and try that. And from a store that sells Nonya and Eurasian cuisine, we're heading a few stores down to another store that sells Hainan cuisine. Well, maybe not Hainan cuisine, but Hainanese curry rice. So what you have here is you have rice, which you can order together with other dishes, and they will pour a nice mixture of curry on top of the rice. And this place here during lunchtime, there is quite a queue. So first thing is the queue. The queue here, even though it's long, you don't have to worry, the queue will clear fast, because all they need to do is just serve you a plate of rice or the curry on top, and then the ingredients you choose. So like I said, the queue will clear fast, so don't have to worry about that. Then you have the price. The price is not cheap, but it's still affordable. And then the portion size. The portion size is also not great, but it's adequate. But what you have here is also something that's different than other places. Is some places the curry, the mixture of curry, is more gooey and starchy. Here you don't have that. Here you have a very nice smooth curry that goes very well with the ingredients, especially the pork chop here, which is cut thinly, and then you batter it with a nice sweet batter and crunchy, and goes very well with the curry. So overall, this place here, if you want something filling, you want something with curry, you want rice, and you don't mind to queue for a short while, then this is the place for you. And now, from our Hainanese rice stall, we are heading towards the end of the row to another queue. And this queue here has been here since morning, and now it's lunchtime and there's still a queue, and it's just as long. And that's because everyone is lining up for this fish soup. The name of the shop is called Yijia Teochew Fish Porridge Fish Soup, and here they sell just fish soup. You use either mackerel or you use pomfret, and you pay accordingly to the price. And here you can have it together with noodles, or with rice, or just the soup by itself. And this place here cooks a very simple dish, but they cook it very well, and people come back to like to drink the soup. And if you like fish soup, so what I ordered from here is their $4 portion fish soup and extra 50 cents for the rice. And this is it. The soup here, you look at it, it looks clean, it looks clear, but don't be fooled by the appearance, because the soup here is extremely flavorful. It has a very nice, delicious fish bones flavor to the soup, which is so good you can just drink it all by itself. But what surprises me here is not the soup, but it's actually the fish slices. The fish slices here cook just right to retain the nice firmness, and when you bite into it, it has an amazing, delicious bite texture. Then it's also seasoned very well, and it tastes exactly like the soup. Somehow they do it very well. So if you do like fish soup, you don't mind lining up for fish soup, then this fish soup is worth to be lined up for. But my suggestion, the queue for this fish soup will start during early lunch. Maybe 11 o'clock, the queue will already be long. So you can join the queue then, or I suggest for you to wait until after lunch timing, maybe around after 1:30. And then if you come here, most of the people will have already eaten or ordered the soup. And if they haven't sold out yet, then you can join the queue and order the soup without having to wait in the queue. But if you come during other timings, like before then, during peak hour, then the queue here is substantially long. And so this was episode 5 of our Worth the Queue adventure, our food adventure. And this time we're actually at Maxwell Food Center, where we explored this food center and we found all the queues, and we rated and looked at, and we found out whether the stalls here are worth the queue. And I hope you enjoyed this episode too. And next week we're going to start another Worth the Queue episode, but this time at another food center. Do you know which food center it is? Well, a hint, it's nearby to this food center. Anyway, thank you very much for joining me. And I hope you enjoyed our food adventure here, our Worth the Queue adventure. And before we go, please do me a favor. Please help me by liking my video, sharing my video, and also subscribing to my channel. And lastly, what you need to do is to join me for my next adventure, my food adventure, or Worth the Queue adventure, or whatever adventure I'm having, which is worth watching. And that's it. Bye bye.